10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to Idiot
10,
Blog 469.
8, 7, 6.
I'm your host, Idiot Burns.
5, 4.
You're
3,
listening to Salem,
2,
and you can find Salem at BR4D
Good morning.
73Y.
Afternoon or evening.
Bradley. Welcome to Idiot
10,
Blog 469.
8,
Oh,
7,
something popped into my eye.
6,
I'm your host, Idiot
Piece
Burns.
of dust. 4.
You're listening to Salem, and you can find Salem at BR4D 73.
Been
sort of relaxing,
Wow.
watching TVs. My wife was taking a math test today, I believe it was,
Welcome to Idiot
in the
Blog
bedroom,
469.
and I was watching something popped into my eye. Some Cheetos, by the way. I was watching this show, this Disney show from the 50s about space travel, what it will be like, and things like that. Things along those lines. Watching TVs. My wife was taking a math test today, I believe it was, in the bedroom, and I was watching before man had been to space. Eating some Cheetos, by the way. I was watching this, but the idea was active in the 50s in the brain, and the concepts were being developed. What it will be like, and rocketry, things along those lines. Had barely made it to space. Before man had been quite cool stuff. But the idea was active in the brain. This song is called Sensorium. It's covered. Being developed. Rocketry. Things along those lines. Had barely made it to space. Quite cool stuff. But the idea was active in the brain. This song is called Sensorium. It's covered. You know, there's been some crazy drama on BandLab, depending on what circle you're in. I've heard a few different things going down. Even aside from what I've experienced. Quite cool stuff. This song is called Sensorium. It's covered. You know, there's been some crazy drama on BandLab, depending on what circle you're in. I've heard a few different things going down. Even aside from what I've experienced. I'll be snacking all blog. This blog is in simulcast. You can find it on bandlab.com/idiotblog, YouTube and twitch.com/idiotburns, and facebook.com/Christopher Burns. And if you want to Facebook friend me after the show, if you're featured or just somebody who enjoyed the show, feel free to do so. Even aside from what I've experienced, I'll be snacking all blog. Yesterday we had a real cool show. We did a Idiot Chat featuring Timothy Lee Nixon. Thanks again, Timothy, for coming on the show. Always a pleasure talking to you. /Christopher Burns. And if you want to Facebook friend me after the show,
Indeed,
if you're
indeed.
featured or just somebody who enjoyed the show. I got a slight headache from having a cold head. Blog might not be too long today just because of that factor. I can't get my head to warm up. I'm wearing this beanie,
Idiot Chat featuring
but it's more itchy than it is warming, to be honest. Man, it can be itchy. You know how that is.
Indeed, indeed.
I got a slight headache from having a cold head. Blog might not be too long today just because of that factor. I can't get my head to warm up. I'm wearing this beanie, but it's more itchy than it is warming, to be honest. Man, it can be itchy. You know how that is. Nice. Vocals here. Killer vocals. What? Very cool. It's gonna come on again. We'll get another edition of that. Nice. Vocals here. Killer vocals. What? Very cool. It's gonna come on again. We'll get another edition of that. What? Sweet. That was killer. Here's the Sensorium again. It's all good. We'll give it another re-listen. It's a little bit different sounding already. Oh, if you're hearing me twice, I can fix that. Let me do that now. Sorry about that, guys. That should be corrected. My bad. Once again, let me announce everything. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm your host, Idiot Burns. Welcome to Idiot Blog 469. We're listening to Salem. You can find them at BR4D73Y. If the video's glitching, the video's glitching. Not much I can do about it. What's going on, Raphael? Mexcal, Tex-Mexcal, how you been? I'm gonna try and lighten up the load on the computer here and see if I can get the glitch to clear out. What's going on, Justin? Interesting article. Steve Brown was working his shift at Olson's bookstore in Washington, D.C. on the spring of 1985 when he heard his name came over to the store intercom. There was a call waiting for him. When Brown picked up the telephone, he heard a voice ask, "Steve Brown? This is Stephen King." "Okay, you know I'm Bachman. I know I'm Bachman. What are we going to do about it? Let's talk." King was referring to Richard Bachman, the alias he had adopted 8 years earlier and carried through 4 books: Rage, The Long Walk, Road Work, and The Running Man. The titles had floated in and out of the market in relative obscurity, drawing only passing suspicion that their true author was one of the most well-known and successful writers of the 20th century. NAL, New American Library, Bachman's publisher, refuted any suggestion that the author was fictional. Excuse me. But Brown a bookstore clerk, writer, and fanzine publisher, had read enough King novels to recognize that Bachman's latest work, Thinner, which is a book I read as a kid, was unequivocally a King work. After some additional investigation, Brown wrote a letter to King's agent sharing his discovery and asked how he'd like to proceed. It marked the beginning of the end for Bachman, who would soon perish. King wrote, owing to cancer of the pseudonym. In 1977, King had completed his transformation from nearly destitute English teacher to cultural phenomenon. His first 3 books, Carrie, Salem's Lot, and The Shining, were bestsellers, with The Stand nearing completion. Feature film and paperback rights for his work added to his newfound wealth. King's professional problem, if he could have said he had one, was that he secreted words like most people produce sweat. His novels were swelling in size. The Stand's first publication saw it cut from 1,152 to only 752 pages, and he was eager to publish more than the industry standard of 1 book a year. Editors balked. Multiple releases would glut the market, they insisted, undercutting the King brand and cannibalizing his sales. Tired of arguing his point, King decided to submit one of his earlier manuscripts to his paperback publisher, NAL, with the caveat that it would be distributed under a pen name. NAL editor Elaine Coster agreed to an impressive veil of secrecy, including keeping most of the NAL employees and even their CEO in the dark about their newly signed author. Beyond circumventing the antiquated thinking about being too prolific, King had an alternative motive for pursuing a pseudonym. He had long wondered if his works could be successful outside of the notoriety that he had developed over the years. Getting It On, a long-finished book about a student who takes his high school class hostage, would receive little publicity and would essentially be left to flourish or perish on its own merits. I wanted it to go out there and either find an audience or just disappear quietly, King said. The first stumbling block for King's referred alias, Guy Pillsbury. Pillsbury was the name of King's maternal grandfather, but when Getting It On began to circulate around the NAL offices, some people became aware of the connection to King. He pulled the manuscript, retitled it Rage, and had better luck flying under the radar. When it was time for the book to go to press, King received a call about a pen name. According to King, Bachman Turner Overdrive record was playing and Richard Stark novel was on the desk. Stark was the pen name for Donald E. Westlake, hence Richard Bachman. The publication of Rage in 1977 was followed by The Long Walk in 1979 and Roadwork in 1981 and The Running Man in 1982. Sales were modest at best, and reader reaction was tepid, King recalling getting 50 or 60 fan letters a week for himself and perhaps 2 a month for Bachman. Still, he seemed to relish having an alter ego and delighted in inventing a morbid biography for him. In his mind, Bachman was a chicken farmer in New Hampshire who wrote novels at night, happily married but facially deformed owing to a past illness. Hence, poor Bachman would be unavailable for interviews. King's cover endured for a surprising long period, but the 1985 release of Thinner would usher in fresh suspicion about Bachman. Unlike the other 4 novels, Thinner was contemporary King, a hardcover written with the knowledge it was a Bachman book, and perhaps more self-conscious about its attempts at misdirection. And unlike early period Bachman, which often featured nihilistic but grounded scenarios, a walking marathon that ends in death, and a game show where prisoners can earn their freedom, Thinner took on a more of a horror trope with a robust lawyer cursed to lose weight by a vengeful gypsy until he practically was nothing but skin and bones. Stephen Brown had received an advanced copy at his work, and he had an innate belief he was reading a King novel. To confirm his suspicion, he visited the Library of Congress to examine the copyrights for each of Bachman's titles. All but one were registered to Kirby Macaulay, King's agent. The remaining title, Rage, was registered to King himself. It was the smoking gun. Brown wrote Macaulay with the evidence and requested his advice on what to do with the information he had gathered. He didn't plan on outing King, but by this time, King as Bachman theory had already been gathering steam, with both King and NAL getting more inquiries from journalists. That's when King decided to phone Brown directly and offer him the exclusive interview of revealing himself as Bachman. With King's permission, Nal circulated Thinner with a credit that read Stephen King, writing as Richard Bachman. The following year, they reissued the previous Bachman titles in a volume titled The Bachman Books. With sales more in line with what publishers would expect from a King title, film producers who had optioned The Running Man were ecstatic since they had gotten a bargain at the Bachman price on the rights for a King product. The only person unhappy with the reveal was the author himself. Bachman, King felt, was on the cusp of developing his own following and his own identity, and he had fully intended to continue publishing under the pen name. King had planned on making Misery a Bachman tome, but Thinner had been too much of a King book, and there is evidence King himself may have been giving himself too much rope with which to hang his alias. One of the characters in Thinner muses that you were starting to sound like a Stephen King novel for a while there. That's a little bit of a giveaway. In his introduction to the Bachman books, King hinted that more undiscovered Bachman manuscripts may be lurking. In '96, he published The Regulators, a posthumous Bachman novel, and did the same with Blaze, a 2007 paperback that was originally written in the 1970s. King's 1991 novel, The Dark Half, was dedicated to his pen name. It was about an author with a pseudonym who takes on a life of his own. Ultimately, Bachman may have outlived his usefulness. In the 1980s, publishers seemed to relax on their shop-worn edicts over publication frequency, and King once again published 4 titles, all under his own name in a single calendar year. Whether Bachman could have one day rivaled King in popularity will have to remain a mystery. During his short time in publishing, he would sometimes get favorable notices that hinted at a bright future. This is what Stephen King would write if Stephen King could really write, remarked one of the reviewers. I found that article interesting. I only got a small piece into it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's read this on the blog. Once again, we're listening to Salem. And go over here. I'm going to check out a couple things here on the make sure everything's going good. There we go. Yep. Looks like simulcast is working just fine. No disgusting things. How about now, Ron? That's for you, Ron. Mr. Swan Song. How about this? I'm just reading some of the comments. Cool. I got some stuff from Joey on the song we're making. Sounds good to me. I'll have to check out the song. That's a reference for sounds. And yeah, I know the drums are supposed to start at second verse, but I think I just put some to play the guitar too, instead of having a click click click. I mean, it just gets annoying having a click click click. And the thing about the click 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 is it goes click 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 click, and sometimes that just gets to me for some reason. I want and the it just makes me play guitar a little differently. It makes my guitar playing a little more boring, I guess, if I were to describe it correctly. La 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 la. The phoenix rose from a fiery grave, born like a rose. The fiery soul it saved. Oh, a business suit? For sure. I used to wear a suit to work. I used to wear a suit. I used to wear a suit to high school. I just thought it was a good look. I used to have a lot more ties. Now I have like 2 ties. I used to have like 20 ties, about 10 button-up shirts, and I only wore slacks, and was like a suit or the dress shirt, tie, and slacks all the time. And yeah, I should get back into that. I actually like and love that look, actually. And I miss it. And I think that not enough people wear that look. And everyone wants to look like Mr. Cool in a cool t-shirt and a funky hat. Now, being a bald guy, you don't get to have a cool hairdo, so I probably got to get a nice fedora. Is that the last song by this artist, or I just need to scroll down to get more access? Looks like I just scroll down. There we go. This is the story of a lion. Last track was called Phoenix. I got a werewolf mask I can wear on one of the shows too. How do I get a vibrato and a whistle? Like that? Is that what you're asking about, Justin? So it's breathing out, whistle. And it's breathing in, whistle. So I can whistle both directions, and I can get a very short in between and almost get close to having a non-stop note. When I was younger, I used to practice whistling a lot. And a bandmate of mine that I had for many years, we actually wrote a lot of our songs by whistling with each other. Whistling, we were better at whistling than humming and singing. And we would do whistle solos. So we'd be playing the riffs, you know, and there's a guitarist, a bassist, and a drummer, and singing, and then whistle solos. And you know what? You do it hard enough and loud enough, it actually gets a real guitar solo vibe to it. So to do that, it's kind of just moving my tongue like that. That's basically all it is. the same way you would do vibrato, but doing it that way is kind of weird. But some guys do that. Now it's got a weird sound to it when you do vocal vibrato that way. So is more in the Adam's apple, but you can combine the two to get like almost like two fighting each other, so it almost stays stable. Now I'm whistling all blog long. Women go crazy over sharp-dressed men. Yeah, women go crazy over sharp-dressed men. Women go crazy over disgusting men, too. The only thing sexier than a suit is a Santa costume. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming. Whistling is very slowly blowing in and out of a hole you create that is not your lips just pursed, but pursed and one lower and one higher, so that the air has to go up your palate, down, and get chopped by your lower lip and come back up. And eventually you start to figure out that the size of the hole is the most important part, and the smaller the hole, the higher the note. And you got to really practice the size of the hole that your lips create. And then, I don't know, I used to practice a lot as a kid, doing all kinds of faces in the mirror, noises, you name it. It's just part of the personality. It's not that my brother doesn't do that, and he also can whistle, but it's the curious mind reaches to learn these kinds of things. I'll tell you that. Ron, excuse me, I never burp on the show. That would be rude. Women go crazy over bald-headed men. Yeah. I'm having fun, you guys. A little lap drumming. I was watching a YouTube today. And it's interesting. I was watching something that said math rock. And I'm watching this female drummer and this guitarist play. And the drummer was alright. Kit sounded mediocre. That could have been how they were recording. Guitarist was really pretty good at what he was doing. It wasn't like amazing writing per se, but cool. But the title was Math Rock, and the whole thing was in 4/4. Not math rock if it's all in 4/4. Heck, if it's all in 3/4, it's probably not even math rock. Now, if you're going 4/4/5/4, 4/4/4/4/3/4, 4/4/5/4, 9/8/4/4, and hopping around like that, that's math rock. Math rock is not a genre. It's any kind of genre that has fucked up time signatures. Dude, most Metallica songs are more math rock than that shit. I'm just putting that down. That was all 4/4. Just because you go, instead of going, you go. Does not make it math rock, because you got it juxtaposed snare hits. Your fucking hi-hat was going 1, 2, 3, 4 the whole fucking time, dude. Got a lot of rhythms in this one. The Spirit of Inquiry. Very cool. Very cool. Dig it. Dig it, I do. Could have been a little louder. Otherwise, the thing was pretty damn awesome, though. But then if it was louder, you wouldn't have heard all my fancy leg drumming. Alright, this is The Trials, name of this song. Folding up my Cheeto top. Cheeto top, Cheeto lips, Cheeto fingers for your Cheeto bitch. Cheeto top, Cheeto tip, give her a slip of a Cheeto chip. More slurping for you, Ron. This slurp is for you, Mr. Swan Song. No. I got a business suit. It's folded up and in a box in the garage, my lady. It's my grandpa's. I got a gray and I got a brown. I don't have a black one. The gray one's light. The brown one... Actually, I have a gray and a blue. Sorry. The blue one is pretty dark. It would look good. Do I have white shirts for it these days? No. No more shirts. The last really good one I had, I remember, got torn in a fight. I kept getting them torn on the fight. I kept getting in fights when I was younger. You know, I'd see a guy smack a bitch in the street, and I'd like pull my car over and confront the guy. And you know, just all kinds of crazy shit. And I got pulled around by my tie a few times, and I was like, fuck this shit. I'm only wearing it where I know what I'm doing, where I know where I'm going. But I'll tell you this much. I was a guy wearing slacks, a dress shirt, and a tie, driving around a Vita bus, 1970 Vita bus, light blue, with a white top and a tire in the front with red and white stripes and the Idiot Arsenal logo on it. And the back had the Idiot Arsenal logo as well. That logo right there on that shirt, but not around, more just straight and straight. There, if you look up Idiot Arsenal on Google, you will find a picture of that, and you look in Google Images, you will find a picture of my bus. Let's see if I can find it right here, right now. I go Idiot Arsenal and see if it's still, you can still find it. Oh, there's this. Nice. Picture of my old guitar amp. That's pretty cool. See if I can get a good view of that. My old guitar amp, which I do miss dearly. Right here, the day I retubed it. Let's see if I can find my Vita bus. There's a picture of me when I was young. Well, not seeing it. Might not be there anymore, but it was for so long. It was on here for so long. I know I have pictures of it somewhere else, though. There we go. There's this. You guys see that? You guys are familiar with that. BandLab Idiot Arsenal image. Where's my damn bus at? Miss my Vita bus. Always loved having that thing. Always loved driving my Volkswagen bus around. Yeah, can't find it. No, that web page might be gone now. Well, shit. Too bad, so sad. Well, alright, guys. I am with headache today, and it is midnight, so catch you guys on the motherfucking flip side. Keep making music, keep having fun, keep keeping it real, keep keeping it real. I'll see you guys on the next blog every day, daily, around 10 to 11 o'clock. The blog starts, and we feature a BandLab artist. Today was Salem. You can find him at BR4D73Y. And if you look at it right, it says Bradley. Artist's real name is Bradley Hall, or Brad Hall. Go check him out. Go leave some likes. Hey, go let him know he was on the blog. I don't officially go to people's pages and say you were on the blog. Maybe I should. Maybe I could. Maybe I would. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Catch you guys later. Keep bandlabbing.